There we have it, our breakfast casserole is done. We need a nice little fried rice with some chicken thighs for our protein. Last thing, we have our giant bowl of spaghetti. What's going on, everybody? It's Jack, and in this week's video, we're doing a full day of eating, but a meal prepped version of a full day of eating. So we've got 3 meals we're gonna be making that I'll have essentially for breakfast, lunch, and dinner during my full day of eating, with a few other things thrown in, some fruits here and there. But without further ado, we'll kick it off with a breakfast casserole. As you can see, we've got some hash browns, pork sausage, eggs, all that good stuff. Real quick, I'll read off the total ingredient list so I don't forget anything. But we have 30 ounces of our hash browns, 2 pounds of our breakfast sausage. You can also substitute in ground turkey or ground chicken. Any meat really works. We'll be using 2 cups of our reduced fat cheese. This is my go-to Mexican style blend. Other than that, we'll have 2 cups of almond milk, 8 eggs, and of course for our micros, we got a bunch of veggies, or in this case, spinach. Last thing we'll need is just a little bit of some olive oil spray to make sure our casserole doesn't stick to our dish, and then just some salt and pepper to season things. Without further ado, I will go over the entire calories, macros, servings, all that good stuff after I make everything. But first thing we need to do is cook up our sausage, and then after that, it's really just assembly. So I'm gonna cook up these 2 pounds of sausage real quick, and I'll be right back. We now have our 2 pounds of our pork sausage cooked up. Like I said before, substitute any meat you want. Go a little leaner if you want some ground sausage, something like that. But we're going with pork. Next thing we're gonna do is assemble the casserole before we put it in the oven. Our oven is preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our now thawed hash browns, put a thin layer on the bottom, add our sausage, add 2 cups of cheese on top of that, and then we're gonna take 8 eggs and 2 cups of spinach, crack the egg into this bowl, add the spinach, add some of our seasonings, mix it up, and then pour it over our hash browns, sausage, and cheese. Almost forgot, make sure you spray your casserole dish. There we have it, our breakfast casserole is done. This will go in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes. For our second meal, if you can't tell by the ingredients, it's gonna be a nice little fried rice with some chicken thighs for our protein. So once again, we're gonna go over the ingredients. We're going to be using 4 cups of rice. We're gonna measure out 4 cups dried. That might turn into probably about 8 cups once it's cooked. Regardless, 4 cups dry divided by 4, because that's how many servings we're gonna make. Pretty simple right there, 1 cup per meal. We have 2 pounds of chicken thighs, 4 eggs, which I do need to grab from the fridge real quick, 2 cups of chopped carrots, 2 cups of sweet peas, 2 cups of this onion and pepper mix. It was already pre-cut, super simple at the grocery store, and then 120 milliliters of this Kung Pao stir-fry sauce. It's really good. It's basically a combination of like sesame oil, soy sauce, all that stuff all in one. So I just use that. First thing we'll do is cook our rice and chicken, then we'll actually be making our stir fry over on the stove. For chicken thighs, we're using Lowry seasoning and some chili powder. Super simple, just a splash on each side. And then we're gonna cook these in the air fryer at 375 for 12 minutes. Now we're at the fun part where we have our rice cooked here in this big bowl in the back. We've got our chicken cooked and cut up on this plate. Then we also have our, chopped up carrots as well as onions and bell peppers in there. Now we're gonna take this pan, saute our vegetables for a little bit, crack in our 4 eggs, and then mix our rice, chicken, and vegetables all together. Our vegetables have been sauteing for a couple minutes. Now we're gonna add the 2 eggs. What I like to do, just create a little center where you can see the bottom of the pan and crack your 4 eggs into there. The eggs are gonna be scrambled, so not a big deal either way. Now we're gonna cook the eggs in. Once the eggs are done cooking, we'll put everything into the big pot with the rice. Now our eggs are cooked in our vegetables. Next we're gonna do, like I said, just add everything together in the big rice bowl and then add our sauce on top. Last step is just fold it all together. We are 2 meals down. We have our breakfast casserole right here. our chicken fried rice in this pot right here. And our third and final meal we need to meal prep is by far the easiest. It's 3 ingredients. I have some lean ground beef. This is 92.8. I'm using some of this 3 cheese Prego marinara sauce, and then just a little bit of our protein spaghetti pasta. All we have to do is cook up the pasta, cook up the meat, combine it all, and we're good to go. Now we just gotta put our last meal together. So we have all of our pasta in this dish. We have all of our 2 pounds of ground beef cooked up in here. And then we're gonna use 1 container, this whole thing, and we're just gonna add it all into this big bowl. Now that the cooking's done, we can get into all the fun stuff, the macros, calories, serving sizes. This is a ton of food. How much is it? And what are the serving sizes? So we'll start with what we're calling breakfast. Our breakfast casserole here with our hash browns, everything else. Using the 30 ounces of hash browns, 2 pounds of breakfast sausage, 2 cups of cheese, 8 eggs, 2 cups of almond milk, 2 cups of spinach. It comes out to be 4,200 calories with 264 grams of protein, 190 grams of carbs, and 257 grams of fat. I personally am deciding to break this up into 6 servings. At 6 servings, it is 700 calories per serving, 44 grams of protein, 32 grams of carbs, and 43 grams of fat. This is our breakfast, and that is going into 6 portions. Next, we have our fried rice. This is 4 cups of dried rice, which turns into probably about 8, 2 pounds of chicken thighs, 4 eggs, 2 cups of chopped carrots, 2 cups of sweet peas, 2 cups of our onion pepper mixture, and our stir fry sauce. This comes out to be 3,285 calories, 407 grams of carbs, 81 grams of fat, and 242 grams of protein. I'm going to divide this into 4 servings. That comes out to be 822 calories per serving, 102 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fat, and 60.5 grams of protein. So that is there. I'll be getting some containers to split that into 4 different dishes or 4 different meals. And last thing, we have our giant bowl of spaghetti. This honestly looks so good. I cannot wait to eat it after my workout. Once again, meal prep is fantastic. I get to come home, pop this in the microwave, and it's ready to go. So our spaghetti with meat sauce, the simplest 3 ingredient spaghetti, beef, and marinara sauce, easiest meal. It comes out to be 2,960 calories, 321 grams of carbs, 86 grams of fat, and 248 grams of protein. I'm also going to divide this into 4 servings at 740 calories a serving, 81 grams of carbs, 22 grams of fat, and 62 grams of protein. Alrighty, if you were to have 1 serving of a breakfast casserole, 1 serving of our fried rice, and 1 serving of spaghetti, your total calories would be 2,262 at 215 grams of carbs, 85 grams of fat, and 166 grams of protein. I think this is a fantastic full day of eating at just around 2,200 to 2,300 calories. You can make smaller portion sizes. You can substitute out eggs for egg whites. I mean, you guys can really do whatever you want. This is what I'm going with. I absolutely love these meals. The breakfast casserole, honestly, is the star of the show. A little bit higher in the fat. The pork sausage just sets it apart. But I love these meals as a whole. They're super diverse, and I enjoy eating them throughout my day. In order for me to get to my calories of around 3,000, I'll tend to add in a pre-workout snack. I'll probably do like peanut butter on rice cakes or some Rice Krispie treats, some sort of quick carbs before my workouts. And then I'll have a slice of fruit, probably with each one of these meals, a banana, an apple, and then some strawberries with dessert, something like that. I fill the rest of my calories up with a lot of carbs throughout the day to get me to 3,000. But if you just want to eat 1 serving of breakfast casserole, 1 serving fried rice, 1 serving spaghetti, you come out to be 2,262 calories with 166 grams of protein. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and divide these up into 4 different containers per meal. And then the casserole dish can kind of stay as is. I don't know if you can see it, but I chopped it into 6. And the big thing here, you don't really need to remeasure. At this point, if I divide this into 4 containers, yes, they probably will not be the exact same in all 4 containers, but once I've eaten all 4 containers, I've consumed the entire thing or 4 servings. So once I have my meals portioned out like this, I'll just scoop it out until I eyeball it to be about 1/4, and I go to my next container, and try to just eyeball it. I'm not measuring exactly how much pasta, red sauce, and beef. I know this is X amount, and when I divide it by 4 and eat those 4 things, I end up back at the X amount. Without further ado, I'll wrap up this meal prep video here. Essentially how you can meal prep to eat 22 to 2300 calories, and you can fill it in if you need to with a bunch of carbs and stuff. Leave ideas for other meals you guys want to see in this meal prep series. I might make it a series, I might just work it into my full days of eating occasionally when I do want to meal prep. Otherwise, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.